Well, what's up, everybody? Yankees took a beating tonight, but they did win the series against the Seattle Mariners. So we'll take that. They got Texas coming up now, which will be a tough series. And then they go to Oakland for 4, and then they go to St. Louis. Um, and Seattle was relatively formidable. The Yankees surprised me. I'm not surprised with Cole dominated the first game. They beat Castillo yesterday. So that I was happy that they took the series. I was not, surprised that they were going to take a beat. This is typical Yankees. So many of the teams, you can be on a heater and a winning streak and blah blah blah, and when their streak is broken, it's usually a 5-3 game or a 4-2 or something like that. Yankees usually get brutalized, right? And so it was 10-0 in the fourth inning. Domingo Herman was awful. He got pounded, and the best pitching in the game was IKF in the ninth inning. So it was throw about a 6-pitch inning or something like that. And you know, again, this is one reason I keep saying two starting pitchers. And I like people may not like me saying trade Severino, but I would move him because he's a big arm and somebody will pay something for him. And they could trade somebody else, or an offensive player, for a pitcher. And if they get Rodon back healthy and Nestor Cortez back healthy, then they've gotten better. So to me, it's something worth looking at as we get closer to the deadline. And I'm going to do a lot more deadline type stuff. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. You don't mind. It's always helpful and always appreciated. Got Sean Browning in the house, Jonathan in the house, Anthony the Party's in the house. So, and who else we got here? Tim King of Jordan's. Shemp is in the house. Shemp, baby. Yeah. Brandon Moore's here too. So again, I will take 2 out of 3. If they can win the series against Texas, who's in first place in the West, ahead of Seattle and Houston, that'll be a pretty good series win for the Yankees. But Texas is a very tough team. So thankfully they don't have Jacob deGrom. And Jay Fidanza's in the house. What's good, my man? What is good? Yeah. Red Sox 15, Yankees 5. Yeah, Texas Buckeye, the king of Texas is here. Joe, my consigliere's here. Yes, indeed. The two Twin Towers are in the building. John Domino's here too. PJ Shoe. What's good, Bill? What's happening? Gary Wanamaker's here too. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to all of you for being in here. Thank you for always coming on. And it happens, Anthony. They took the series, so that's more important. They took the series, so my consigliere. Make him know if you can't refuse. Naz Levy's in the house. What's good, man? Yankees Mike is in the house. Yankee Mike, excuse me. Rob Mestina. What's good? Alex Farina, what's up, man? Yeah, IKFNF. That's right, baby. Barbara Matthews. Hello, Barbara. Edward Rosario. What's good? Rosario. Michelle Morales. How are you? What is going on? Aiden Davila. Stephen B. What's good, my man? Peter Risbergs. Oh, wow. Buxton hit 2 460-foot home runs against Boston. Well, good, and which is nice. So Buxton's got he's got some serious power potential. What's good, NFE? My jiu-jitsu friend, my brother in martial arts, David Herrera, James Bailey. Herman's also streaky. SJC, what's happening? Robinson, and we'll get to that, James. We will get to that. I just want to give a shout out to everybody here. Tim King at Jordan's, Alex Farina, Hero Bow. What's good? Sunil's in the house. So, IKF was the first pitcher of the Yankees to hit a home run in a game since 1972, 51 years. So look at that shit. Rick Fulmer, Rays lost on a 2-outer and 9. Good. So the Yankees don't lose any ground there. San Herman, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, this is why from the Yankees I want to get more reliable pitching here. I want to get more reliable pitching sooner than later and not wait until the damn deadline when some of these guys will be taken by other teams, some of them probably in the AL East, which will wind up hurting the Yankees. So from them, I'm going to be more proactive than reactive. So Mind Blue Eyes, what is good, Mind Blue Eyes? Ryan from U.S. Navy's in the house. Yeah, Donaldson and Stanton, they're sucking right now, aren't they? Michael Edwards, what's happening? This is pretty close to rock bottom, Michael Edwards, but they won the series. I mean, it's just their losses are really ugly. So I don't know. We'll see, Sunil. I'd be happy if they tied the series against Texas. It's 4 games, I think, right? I would be happy if they tied it. So I mean, you never know, you know. But Texas is sneaky good, sneaky good right now. Naz, anyone screaming? But I mean, yes. It's why I don't know. Peraza should be up here. Probably Florial, probably Chaparro. Those 3 guys should be up here right now. They really should. So IKF starting on Tuesday. Maybe. Oh man, yeah. I mean, Donaldson's not doing himself any favor. He's making it easier for the team to DFA him. But just they need to be willing to do that. They need to be willing to do that, and live in reality here. It's not going to get much better, Donaldson. So, and yeah, I mean, I can start IKF at their base. Just sit Donaldson. If he's not going to hit, sit him. Sit him. Like really. Yeah, West Coast Yankee fan. What's happening, man? Quellen Athar's in the house too. Yeah, yeah. I mean, think so. Yeah, I would agree, Quellen Athar. I mean, he was awful, but it was bound to happen, right? It was. Yankees had 2 really good games, and they were bound to do something like this. So, is Farina like the Siri? Can you just call me Farina? Alex Farina, man, dude. I'm a fan. I'm a Farina fan, my man. I am a Farina fan. Call you Farina. All right. That's cool. Yes, sir. Buxton's the only one to ever hit 200, 464 home runs. I'm not surprised. He's got power. He's got talent. He signed to $100 million deal this offseason, like 7 years, I think. No, I think it's 7 years. He's really an opener. I can't. This is a great one. Textbook guy in the center of our lineup. We're putting up interstate numbers. Yeah, like 0.95, right? This is ridiculous. So I wouldn't move Severino for quality starting. I would move Severino for a contact hitter. I would move Torres for pitching because Torres can net a higher value pitcher than Severino can net a valued hitter. And right now, but again, and that's why a multiplayer trade with the White Sox will probably be a good idea, right? I mean, it sounds like a good idea. I think it's doable. Michael K hits one on the head every time. It's Michael K. Dude he has a feel of the fans and the team. You know what I mean? It's What I think of that replay delay of the Rizzo one. Yeah, that wasn't a home run. So, Burrito has it. Yeah, I mean, Burrito's doing better. Peter, he is. Yankees are so much better without Donaldson and Stanton. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they're unwilling or resistant to eat DFA, Donaldson, there's not a chance in the world you're gonna do it. Stanton with 4 years left on his deal. All right, DFA boom cash. Yeah, Isai. I mean, on one side, I understand why fans are upset. A lot of fans are upset. They expect more from the Yankees, but I also understand, and I've said this a lot. It's June. It's not September. It's not October. I'd be more upset if they were in this position in September. I'd be pretty pissed. So I remember fans last year when they went on that really bad slump and fell out of playoffs and they had to climb themselves back at the end of the season. People were pulling their hair out. They were about to jump out. They were standing on the ledge. I remember that. So, but Hal, yeah, I mean, sometimes Hal puts his foot in his mouth, and he did that yesterday. He did. What's poppin', Nelson? What's good, baby? Rita, thank you. I'd move Severino now as well. I would, honestly. Cash and Hal still won't do anything. If they did, probably can get Mike Ford or something. I don't know, Al Isaac. I mean, they need to. They need to. So that's for sure. I did not listen to Hal today. I listened to him yesterday, Alex Farina or Farina. And you know, he, not going to get like George Steinbrenner type uh, lines from him or quotes from him. That's not going to happen. So if anybody's interested in that or expecting it, I'm afraid we're going to be disappointed. So that's where he differs from that. The fact that a lot of us feel like he's running this team like his hedge fund, that's not comforting. It's not comforting. I need less talking and just more go out and make a move. I'd like to wake up tomorrow and say, the Yankees made a trade. Like that's the type of stuff we need to see. Just shut up and make a move. Okay. And that would be really refreshing. Really refreshing. So yes, Texas is right. IKF is a player's player. He is a pro. Team first. This is why I like him. This is why I defended him from the start. Because he's always been this way. But there was so much expectation for him to be this ace at shortstop last year. It kind of tarnished his year as well. So he was second behind Judge in runners in scoring position in hitting. So there are some bright spots to IKF, and he probably just added 5-6 years in the major league, his major league career based on how he's been playing with this team this year. So I think he's extending his career. Texas, my man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. The king of Texas, king of the Lone Star State, right there. Hey, D Rod, what's good, man? LeMahieu just looks lost, Aiden. He looks lost. He really does. Now, looks lost at the plate. He's decent with his defense, but he looks lost at the plate. A lot of these guys do look lost. A lot of the offense, which is unfortunate. And when they have this many guys looking lost, it really sucks. So, yeah, man, the Rangers going to Billy. Yes, I'd be happy with the Yankees split with the Texas Rangers, But yeah, I don't want you to get business either. I'd rather they win the series, no doubt about it, so people can like calm down a little bit. I would like for them to win this series. They won the Seattle series, which is good, but Texas is a different beast. They're in first place for a reason. They've been very aggressive in free agency these last 2 years, and I think they're going to be aggressive at the trade deadline. So I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. So minor leaguers, yeah, exactly, Joe. Call up some minor leaguers. See, yeah, 100%. Stanton, this is normal textbook Stanton too, Joe. Like he comes off the IL. First of all, he stinks for a couple of weeks when he comes off the IL every time, and then all of a sudden he starts to hit, and he becomes unstoppable, and he just tears the ball for a while, and then something happens. He gets hurt. He goes on the IL, goes back again, tears the ball. It's like excuse me, it's like rinse and repeat. Murder the ball, get hurt, stink, murder the ball, get hurt. It's like it's a repeat cycle with Stanton. I hate to say it, but it's so true. The update on Judge, Jonathan, said he just started pool stuff, resistance work, and some resistance training with weight training. So they're hoping he can start throwing and do some other baseball-related activities at the end of the week or next week. So I still don't expect him back until July. So I really don't. But that's the latest on Judge. What's up, Dev? It's, mine, this is so true, but I get that a lot of people don't like to do that. And there's a couple of content creators who just incessantly bash to a degree. And I understand the vent thing and wanting to vent frustration. That's totally cool. But and I say this, unless you're gonna bash the person, do it to their face. Otherwise, you don't have any credibility doing it on here behind a safe screen. So it's just a waste of time. I don't do that stuff, mine. But yes, I know exactly what you're saying, mine, Blue Eyes. But again, people are opinionated in the Yankee fan world. They have the right to their opinion. They can say what they want. I don't bash here. So but that's just me. So according to Joe from the Shift, the players that should come up, of course, weren't. Who are you referring to, James? Peraza's on a 40 man. Florial's got to get put on the 40 man, but that again, you can get put on the 40 man there, but they have to make a corresponding move, obviously. So, and but yeah, some of them are not on the 40 man. Yeah, the curse of not calling up Florian Pariah. Exactly, so see was this front office house confused to why the fan base is angry. He could be a little bit more clear. He's fans as to why the fan base is so angry in June. I get that, but again, you can't be confused as to why the fan base they expect more from this. They don't expect to go out and pay money to watch a team that looks like it's lucky if it wins 75 games based on the payroll. So it doesn't add up, Sunil. So I totally get what you're saying, and like they got to have a little bit of you know you're so out of touch with certain things, Hal, that we need you to be in touch with things. So, and I said this earlier. I'm sick of Cashman running interference for him all the time. Speak for yourself, Hal. Like, and I wish guys would just push him, push him, push him, push him. I know certain folks, and yes, like they're not really allowed to, and blah blah blah. But he gets on if he's on with somebody who's not an employee of his, push the guy, push him, and why not? But don't be a dick about it, obviously, because that's not going to do anything. But it's push the guy, challenge him, challenge Cashman too, and have very poignant questions too. But again, he needs to be challenged. He needs to be challenged, no doubt about it. Sure, I mean this is something we proposed, right? Cloris and a prospect to the White Sox for Giolito and Bummer. That's a trade that's worth looking into. It really, really is. You get your starter, you get your reliever in one trade, and you could replace Torres with Oswald Peraza. And I've said this, and again, Peraza to me is the one guy on this team that can make the rest of his teammates better around him. He can make Volpe better if Volpe's playing second and Peraza's playing short. He can make the infielders around him with his range and how he positions himself and how he gets the other infielders involved. He's the guy I think should be the guy at shortstop because he'll make Volpe better. And to me, I think that's a good move, and I don't think it's going to devastate Volpe. I mean, I don't see the point of replacing Volpe with Peraza. I want Peraza to play with Volpe. Neither one of them has these lazy spells on a regular basis like Torres does. Lapses in concentration like Torres does. Torres got a high ceiling bat, no doubt about it. But he's very streaky. And again, I want guys that are into the game all the time, hustling all the time. Peraza does that. Volpe does that. You can hit 190, but you show that you're fired into this game, doing as many things as you can. I want more of those guys. Because that battle will eventually come around. If God, Rod, the Rays had money, Yankees had the Rays would be a damn powerhouse. Well, this is the thing too, Jonathan. Yes, they sit and wait on players and they get them too late, or they get the wrong guys because the good guys that they wanted have been waiting for have been taken by the other teams. Then you have to make these very underwhelming trades, right? So it's ridiculous. Yeah, 2 runs on 3, exactly. Texas, exactly. Wow. Yeah, I mean this game was a pretty bad one. Pretty bad one, Eric. Well, exactly. He's our voice, but he has to walk exactly. Exactly. Because he works for the S Network. He's employed by House Steinbrenner. So, he'll push when he can. But again, he's their employee. He wants people to, you know, hopefully enjoy the product, like the product, be confident in this team instead of constant negativity and bashing the team. I don't see the point in that stuff. Like especially every day, it's just old and boring. So, but. Uh, 3 months will be sooner than you think, and blink your eyes, bro. Come on. What are you disappointed with, Sunil? What take? What take you talking about? What are you talking about? 3 months? We see July, August, September. What take you talking about, Sunil? The way they operated from, yeah, I mean, I would have called up I would have called up Peraza or Florial over Cabrera. Yeah, in West Coast. I mean, I said it earlier. I did a YouTube short about it. Like, I know, I need them to explain that logic. That I need. Fire, boy, cash from that. How they sell it to Jocelyn. We get a lot of that. A lot of people say that. Man, Randy shows he can lead a team. You mean live when they're in Oakland late at night? Yeah, most likely West Coast. Yeah, the UFC. But yeah, but he won't GM because he's. It sounds like he's being groomed to be the next commissioner of baseball, and I would rather have him over Rob Manfred. I don't think he could take a step back to be the GM of the Yankees. I don't think he would, I should say. I'd be shocked. You have to pay him a hell of a lot more than he's making now. Uh, Sunil, what's your disappointing take? Oh, my disappointing take. Yeah, a lot of people saying that. It's time running to fire all these guys. I mean, I could see getting rid of Dylan Lawson. I could see that. And the Stanton DFA is not going to happen. That's on planet Earth. Play 4 in Texas earlier this weekend as a 3-game series. I'm going to be realistic. We're not winning the series. I don't know, Sunil. I don't know. So if it's a 3-game series, I hope the Yankees win. I'm not ruling them out yet. So I mean, Jonathan, you might be right. I mean, maybe they just don't value their own prospects. I mean, it could be both. It really could be both. Prospect hugging, yeah. I mean, they've done that for way too long, and now it's just if you have prospects who can be better than major leaguers, just bring them up and option out the major leaguers. Like seriously. So, oh yeah, Joe. A lot of us are waiting for this Stanton to hit. Man. Yeah, I saw that the Rays benchmark. Good, Peter. Good. Who gives a shit about his WAR? If he's lack hustling, you have to hold those guys accountable too, WAR or not. You know, which is why I think the Yankees should hold Torres accountable. What differentiates bashing versus discussion realities? Honest and serious question. Bashing without any constructive criticism in return. Bashing, which also includes calling people names when they're not there to defend themselves. You know the difference between bashing and discussion. I think you know that, Sunil. There's a distinct difference between the two. When you're calling people's names, tell them to their face. All right? Really. You don't bring anything to the table if you're just bashing, 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 and calling people names. I don't see any value in that, Sunil. And I know, like I said, people can vent all they want. Okay? But I'm talking about, people who have an influence over a lot of people. Okay? And, that's what I'm talking about. Discussion on realities, we can have that. People are free to vent anytime they want, okay? But I'm talking about people on the screen too who do it on a regular basis, okay? Where's the value in that? That's my honest and serious response to you. Yeah, Trevor Bauer started strong in Japan, but he's kind of tailed it off a little bit, and he's been accused again by like 4 more women or something. It's Trevor Bauer. I'm with Sunil here. I would stay away from Trevor Bauer. I would stay away. No. Bring him players when he's better. I mean, of those guys right there, Robert, I would bring up. Let's see, Peraza right now, Chaparro. I mean, Wells is close. Rortvet's close. I mean, Rortvet means once he's healthy, we know that he's healthy and all this stuff. You can trade Higashioka and bring up Rortvet, and then when you call up Rortvet, you bring Austin Wells to AAA, and then he's one step away. It's a nice catching progression up there. Peraza, no doubt about it. Dominguez is not ready yet, but he's working his way up. Trey Sweeney's getting, he's working his way up too. Chaparro's close. Spencer Jones is close, so or closer. He's still in high A. He needs to gain move up. But again, if like you move Dominguez to AAA, you can move Spencer Jones up to AA. So I don't think there's room right now AA. So I hate to argue with you. The reason why the Texas Rangers are good, losing games on purpose to get that money from other winning ball clubs. Well, I don't disagree with that. Got revenue sharing. Yeah, yeah. And I talk about revenue sharing. The Yankees give more revenue sharing than any other team in baseball. And teams like that, teams like the Oakland A's use it. They had to pocket it. But in this case, at least Texas is actually spending on players. So I'll give them credit for that. But you're not wrong about that at all. So do I think Soto will be I think there's a 50-50 chance that he gets traded now. It's a higher likeliness of the chance. Challenge Cashman and Steinbrenner together. I'm gonna go to the best taco joint in town, feast up, and then sit in the same room with these two schmucks. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, bro. You know? I'd like to see that. So make sure you record that, Sunil. Honestly, like, and that'd be fun to watch, bro. Fun to watch. But sneak some kind of camera in there because this would be fun. I mean, I want to, at least me, I want to watch that. Fire away from both ends. Farts from yes. You got to do it. And harsh questions, it's fine. But when you call them names and you're not doing it to their face, I think that's coward stuff. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. You're gonna call them derogatory names and stuff like that. Do it to their face. Honestly, and I'm not saying you won't, Sunil, but and I like the levity you bring to this too, Sunil. That's you bring the humor to it, which I appreciate. But I would enjoy watching you challenge these guys with some hard questions. No doubt about it, Sunil. So mark me, and again, just sneak in a little tiny, like a little tiny camera in the corner, like up there. Just so I'll be quietly. I won't even announce it. So I'll just enjoy it. Enjoy the show. And make sure you eat some tacos so it stinks when you're firing away from your butt too. Lapari, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I think the All Star game is in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Well, exactly, Alex. This is a good point too. He likes the guys to have him on, so he can't beat him up too bad. Exactly. He wants to give them the floor, knowing that he'll get some softball questions, whoever it might be. So you know what I mean. And I'm surprised. It's these guys know too, like why they're going to go on certain platforms when they know they're probably they're going to get bashed and attacked. And I mean, if you want somebody to respond to you and listen to you, bashing them is the last thing to do to get people. They'll just ignore you or laugh in your face. I would. So what's the point of that? They will laugh right in your face if you give them some hard questions. Absolutely, why not? But if you're going to call them names and all this other stuff, they're not going to listen to you. You sound like a moron. Oh, but whatever. Oh yeah, I mean, dude, you can't really blame them. Yankee fans on the verge of throwing trash on the field for Donaldson. You can't really blame them, honestly. They're pissed off at Donaldson. Can't blame the Yankee fans for that. I mean, he's given a lot of reason to hate the guy right now. Yeah, keep rehabbing, Joel. Constantly, please keep rehabbing. I want you to get better, man. Takes a little while, but be consistent, my friend. It is in Seattle, right? Texas. Okay. We're upset in June. It's not September yet, and you'd be riled up only at the time and let whatever is happening play out with limited hopes on improving. I said, for perspective, it's June. Yes, we still have guys coming back, and people are free to rule out the season if they want. They want to be that way. Go right ahead. I don't. I'm not going to do that, Sunil. But and again, being riled up is totally fine. There's certain ways of doing it. There's a lot of people. A lot of people conduct themselves differently when they're riled up, and that's totally fine too. But I don't say we'll let whatever is happening. I called them out for not doing things. I called them out earlier today. I was asking why in the world did you bring up Oswaldo? You sent him down to refine stuff. He hasn't even had enough time to refine stuff, and you could have called up somebody else, like a Peraza, like a Chaparro, like a freaking Florial. But I understand the Cabrera situation because he does play the outfield. But again, I think this is right now is the only opportunity. Like we know that Estevan Florial's had trouble hitting major league pitching, and when he translates from he hits well in the minors. But this is the best he's ever hit in the minors. This is the closest I've ever seen him to be. Probably close to being able to hit major league pitching. So right now, I would give him a shot. He's got 18 home runs, man. He's got more than Chaparro. He's got more than everybody. Okay, and he's got defense. He plays good RBI. He's doing everything right now. This is the closest right now I think Estevan Florial will be to actually producing at the major league level. So I would give him a shot. So I did not understand the Oswaldo Cabrera logic. I don't. That's why I asked earlier. Like, you know what I mean? But Jonathan, I mean, you're not right. I mean, you're not wrong. Excuse me. There's a lot of players that play like they don't want to win a championship. You're absolutely freaking right. So, and again, Jeter had a special team. There's only a couple of guys on this team right now that show that heart and that fire every day. There's only a few. We need more of that. We definitely need more of that, Jonathan. So, yeah, he does, Alex, but he gives him criticism, with perspective too, right? He doesn't go out and call him a-holes and blah, blah, blah. Again, he would never be, having these guys on. That's why that type of stuff doesn't have any effect. Well, but here, that's what I'm saying. Like this, I like this type of stuff. The conversation we're having, disagreeing, I'm getting challenged too, which is good. Which is good. Well, exactly. Cashman's not getting fired. He makes them boatloads of money. He's one of their money makers. I don't think he's going to get fired, despite what fans want, and a lot of fans want that, and that's okay. I don't think they're going to do it. So, but again, you can fire Cashman and Boone if the roster's the same. Not going to be any better. No matter who you bring in. Well, yeah. Well, exactly, Stephen. Donaldson, but yeah, I mean, I think they're looking for a reason to DFA him, but honestly don't know why. Like, I think honestly think if Cashman had the call, he'd probably DFA him. But I don't think he's being. I don't think Hal's letting him do it. So he's got to run interference. In my opinion, I said this today. He's got to run interference for Hal, and he's going to take a lot of those daggers and punches and kicks, like because Hal won't talk about it, and Cashman will, and a lot of folks will think it's Cashman's move, a decision, and can't really blame them if you're not going to be. You're not going to say, "Well, Hal's making me do this." So I did not see the replay reverse at home plate today, Texas. What happened? Oh, you damn right, Sean. What happened, Texas? I did miss that. Yeah, neither will I, Sean Young. But it is very frustrating. The yo-yo, damn right. So good, so bad. It's very frustrating and very hard to watch. Even diehard fans, which we clearly are. Yeah, it's yeah. I get that frustration too, word lifer. Honestly, I feel the same way, dude. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this fucking. I know. I mean, I got to be tuned in because I want to keep doing this stuff and I want to be able to answer questions and do this stuff too. But I feel the same way a lot, word lifer. So the way you feel is totally justified. Just the way Sunil feels is justified too. West Coast, thank you, man. I appreciate that too. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you, thank you. And again, there's a lot of channels that feel differently, that talk differently, that communicate differently. That's totally okay. Totally okay. So yeah, I mean, uh, I think I would replace Cashman here with Hal. I don't think Hal knows much about baseball. Cashman knows if he gets fired tomorrow, he'll be employed by the end of the week or next week. He'll get a job as a GM like that. That I'm very confident in. So he knows more about baseball and kind of building a franchise economically than a lot of people do. And I mean, it's a tough thing to acknowledge, but it's true. I mean, Rose. I mean, I honestly, I said this too. I think they should be buyers and sellers. There's not many pieces they could really sell. Like you could sell Sevy, you could sell Torres. You may be able to trade some relievers too, sell some relievers. But aside from that, what are they gonna? What else are they gonna sell? What would you sell, Rose? Out of curiosity, what would you sell? Farina. Amen, brother. A freaking man. Yeah, Chapman's doing pretty well in Kansas City. I could see him being traded to the National League. All right, let's try to get to 100. 53 likes, all right. How much can we control the fan base's cumulative frustration? Well, it depends on what you're feeding them. If you're feeding them hate, then it's going to attract a certain subset of fans. I mean, that's just what the information that you fed are going to, you know, influence how you think and how you communicate, right? So, so just like this channel, I don't bash on a regular basis, but we still get great conversation with you and everybody else. It's not a shitstorm of cursing and name calling and all that stuff. That attracts a certain crowd, right, Sunil? So I think every content creator, every niche when it comes to the Yankees will attract its own audience, right? So, and again, sometimes people frustration get the best of them. Yes, on an everyday basis, people know the type of content they want to put out. They know what they want to feed their people. They know this, Sunil. You know it too. If you had a channel, and I hope you do, you'll have your own way of doing it, right? So, and that's totally cool. Just like everybody else's way is totally cool. I just don't. Everybody here is cumulatively frustrated too, and it's justified. And we do that. But again, I mean, I like to be constructive too. I like to give insight and perspective. I don't see any of that on certain channels, any of it. So, but that's the way people run their channels. That's what people do. That's what fans do, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. You know what I mean, Sunil? So I get what you're saying too. It's like certain news networks, or networks that they call themselves news. They feed people propaganda 24/7. They believe it, and they believe shit that is no basis in reality. But that's what happens, and they'll go that for that propaganda. They'll watch that for the propaganda. That's why I don't inject politics into this. There's no place on the baseball channel. You know what I mean, Sunil? So yeah, I mean, Soto is an on base percentage machine. I like Soto better than Tatis too. First of all, Soto hasn't been popped for juicing, and had surgery recently on his wrist. So Tatis is uber talented, yes, but Soto to me, if I'm going to go for either one of them in San Diego, I'm going to go for Soto. So, and again, he's a guy on this team. I would bat him second, have Judge third behind him. Let Judge give him more guys that get on a base on a regular basis to drive in rather than hitting so many solo home runs. Like Soto would be a huge huge here. But I don't know. I mean, he's going to cost the Hall. He's a free agent after next year too, so you never know. But San Diego's apparently in a bit of a precarious financial situation, so there has been minor discussions as to what it would can they move him and can they get I mean, equal value than what they gave up for him. That I can't see, but you never know. If they feel he's one piece or one guy away, somebody will overpay for him. Yeah, just this is what's wrong with being respectful to people, Billy? Nothing. Nothing. You know? There's nothing wrong with being respectful. You could still disagree. You could do all that stuff, but I mean, that's my preference. I'd rather be respectful and have a constructive conversation. If they want to be dicks and a-holes after that, then that's on them. That's on them. So, yeah, they signed Keuchel today, Peter. The Twins, they need pitching depth. Sunil, you know the name call is intentional. You know that it is. And I'm talking about where it's peddled every day. That I understand the emotional passion. I get that. I get it with you too. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? When it's every day, regular basis, you know that it's intentional. It's really hard to debate that one. So now, I'm not saying you do it. Okay? Like I said, you bring humor with your criticism and all that stuff. That I appreciate. You know what I mean? So, but you know what I'm talking about, so now. Passion comes out in many forms. I don't disagree with that either. I honestly don't. And then on outward appearance, it's pretty hard to not. When you call him a hole and curse words and all the stuff, that doesn't appear. That is bashing. You know? It is. If it looks like shit, it's probably shit. So most likely, unless it's decoy shit. But I don't know how many of us carry a decoy turd around. I don't. Sometimes I wish I did, but I don't. Prospects promotion now, starting like yeah. I mean, yes, Stephen B. Yeah. Do I think Boone would be more pressure if Cash was? I don't know. I don't know, Mine. That's a good question. I don't know. It's maybe maybe. I mean, would I mean? The question I would say ask the same question. Would Girardi have been more effective if Cashman was replaced too? I don't know. Like he won the World Series in 2009. He also had the core four and the biggest free agent class ever from Yankee history all in 1 year. So he walked into a really good team. So, but like, would Girardi have been more effective? I don't know. That's a really good question, mind wise. It's a really good question. And again, but just moving Cashman, moving on from Cashman, doesn't solve the roster problem. Doesn't if they keep the same roster, chances are they're gonna have the same issues. You know, live coverage of everybody doing that. Oh, I mean, you gotta look around for channels apart. There are people that do it. So you know, I don't talk about like that type of stuff. I don't badmouth the channels either. So, but yeah, I mean, this is the thing, Sean. That's what I'm saying. Like when you start, when the normal response is bashing, you're going to attract a small subset of people. And they're probably going to be pretty loyal to you, which is fine, which is good. But yeah, the reasonable folks turn the heel and walk away. Exactly. That's. I mean, if that's their choice. That's their. That's fine. I just don't do it. You know, it works for people. It works for people. Certain folks, some folks. So yeah, it's open on Saturday, Jonathan. It's open Saturday night, buddy. Oh, me too, Joe. Not ruling out the season. I'm just pissed how bad you. You're absolutely freaking right. You have every right to be, Joel. Every right to be. Yeah, I don't think it was a smart move either. Bringing back Cabrera. He hasn't had enough time to refine the things that he needs to refine it. He brought it back up. This is the second time they brought it back up. He hasn't enough time to refine stuff. So, and well, exactly, Travis. I mean, I don't think we have much to lose. But I mean, Florial's, he's never been this good in the minor leagues ever. So why not? We call out the realities here too, Sunil. It's how you do it, right? You know, we all do the same thing. We all do the same. I've been saying it for months. I've said it for even a year. I've talked about Jimmy Cordero last year. I talked about things I would have done this year. Like I do it on a regular basis. We call out the reality. There's not one place that calls out reality. There's no one, know it all knowing place. The information. We call our stuff out here on a regular basis too, Sonia. We do. We call out the realities too. We do it. So there are other channels that speak the truth and the facts too. There's no one all-knowing place. That's including this channel. This is not the all-knowing place either, and we're not going to oppose it either. You know? People have different perspectives they're entitled to. And again, I get what you're saying, but be careful with there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, no, I don't think Cashman gets fired. I know what you're saying, Sunil. I get it. Farina, speak to the amen, brother. I'm with them too. I'm watching them throw the ball. Yeah, they're all about. They look awful right now, Farina. We do the same thing here, Sonia. There's no, again, this is where I don't like this misinformation. There's certain places that peddle themselves are the only people talking about it. No, they're not. There are other places that do too. Okay. So, and I appreciate that you do that. Give yourself more ample time for seeking a pay. Of course. We do that here. And we all wish the Yankees would do it? Yes. The problem too is we don't know if they're doing it or not. They don't do any of this shit publicly. As much as fans would like them to, they don't do it publicly. So it's just this is where again I don't like calling I call it propaganda, but I calling out disappointments. You should be calling out disappointments, and I'm glad that you do. I really am. Me too, War Room. Same less thing. Man, Herman was employed. That was bound to happen. The offense has just been. They scored 8 runs this whole entire series. It's terrible. Terrible. So that's a good question, Wink the Man. If Hal approved the Hicks DFA, why not? It's a good question. Really good question. Like I said, they're going to pay this money regardless. So if you call up Peraza and you get better production, you're getting more out of your money. You're paying it regardless. They're not going to trade him. It doesn't have trade value. So get somebody up here who can produce better. And again, you ride it out to the end of the season. You move on. So guy was on the coast. This is the thing, Texas. And Jonah Heim from the Texas Rangers did this the other day. He completely blocked home plate, and but didn't give the guy a chance to kind of slide or even go down the path. And there's a new rule with the new collective bargaining agreement that you can't completely block the plate. You have to essentially be to the side and reach out, and put yourself in a position to tag guy. You have to give him a chance to slide. I don't necessarily agree with that. And what the hell's the point of blocking the plate if you're not going to block the plate? So, but it's so I this is an interesting one, Texas. The blocking home plate thing. It's a whole new thing, and I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. No, dude, you're not wrong there, Sunil. Okay, you're not wrong there. I mean, again, he deserves fire. He gets, yeah, sure. Barbara Matthews, welcome, 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 welcome. I get what you're saying, Sunil, but you know what I'm talking about, dude. Right? Does he, carry himself like on occasion? Yeah, not every day, Sunil, but yeah, he does, and he tends to be a little bit more blatant or obvious about than the rest of the teammates. I want to see that he's. I mean, what I want to see him show that he's interested in the game. No matter if he's bad or good, doesn't matter. Okay, if you do something bad, you try to make up for it the next player, the next something. That's what I like about IKF and even Stanton. They own up to their dog shit play and they try to get better. He might be a bad for a little like Stanton is right now, but they keep their mouth shut. They take the hits. They keep grinding. That's why Stanton will get hot at some point. He'll become hot for a while. IKF's been one of the more consistent players all season. He does whatever they want him to do. Doesn't complain. Just goes out there and does it. And I think people are gaining a great appreciation for guys like IKF. People spent so much time bashing him last year. They're gaining a great appreciation for him. I'm not saying everybody, but I know a lot of people who will. Barbara, thank you. I try to be reasonable and fair. I understand people sometimes don't want to be, and I get that. I get it. Okay, but again, people are listening to me talk and all that stuff. So I don't want to be peddling BS to people. You know what I mean? Or saying that I'm great and all knowing and better than everybody. No. Okay. No. This channel's not about me. It's about you guys and gals. It's for your enjoyment. You're Yankee fans. So it's important for me to listen to you folks too. So, but thank you for that, Barb. I appreciate that. Ah, and it's okay to say you hate what you're seeing. And it's okay. I mean, like I say too, I ride or die with them, good or bad. Ride or die with the crew. Loyal, longtime fans. That's it. You know what I mean? Farina, North Carolina. What do you guys eat in North Carolina? What are you eating down there? Lapari? Huh? Play like Kansas City did tonight against They won. They beat the Rays 6-5, right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City is pesky against good teams. They really are. They really are pesky against good teams. Draft picks for NBA. The Knicks have 0 picks in the first 2 rounds. You based off 3 more recent rings than Cashman. No, you're entitled to that. I don't say you're wrong. Different team. He built it differently, so I'm happy that Sabian's here. I wouldn't waste my time comparing them to them because they're together now. It's pointless, in my opinion. So I'm glad that he's here, and I hope that he becomes a helpful piece here. And if he gets a shot, if they replace Cashman with him, I'm cool. I hope he does well. But I'm glad that him and Mania are here. I hope that they bring a lot of value to this team. But it would be nice if we knew what the hell they were doing, right? But good for his rings. I'm happy for him. He helped draft the early core for the Yankees too, so he's done a good job. Done a good job. Oh, wish we could sign Goku. Who's Goku, Mr. O'Brien? Who the hell is that? Yeah, well, exactly, Rose. I mean, I would trade both of them. I don't expect to get a massive haul, but again, I think Torres' in-house replacement is already here in Oswald Peraza. I think if you get Rodon back healthy and Nestor Cortez back healthy, that's better than having Sevi unproductive. So I would get what I get from them and keep moving. You can get some decent value, I think, from Torres. But if you package him with a prospect, you could probably get a better trade. If you package Sevi with a prospect, you can get a better trade. This is where I would attach prospects and not hug prospects when it comes to these guys. So there are trade avenues for these guys. I just don't know how much, but I want to continue to build. Like Sevi's looks like his relationship with the Yankees is fractured. He's frustrated. He's unhappy here. Looks like it, and I don't see them resigning him. So at this point, it makes sense to trade him and get something back. Right. The same thing goes with Torres. So if Torres stays and he becomes great, okay. But if he goes, I would move him now when he still has a year and a half control, when his value's higher, and try to get something back. And if you can get him in a package, like you add a prospect to him, to White Sox for like a Giolito and a Bummer or Crochet, whatever, you just got to start and a reliever for Torres and another prospect or two. That to me is a productive trade, especially when we would not have to trade for his replacement in the infield. It's already here. So we can focus on pitching. No. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, bring that kid up. Bring that guy from the rookie, man. Damn right, Sunil. Because Sevi and Herman are not doing it. So I'll take him. Bring up 65-year-old Kevin Costner, baby. Oh, the Braves are in Houston does they build from the yeah, I mean, yeah. Trade exactly. That's what the Braves have done recently. The Houston Astros, they develop well. They really do. The Houston's having some pretty serious injuries right now, and Dusty Baker's making questionable Boone type decisions. They still develop pretty well. So we have many bad contracts. And you know what's crazy? The Stanton contract didn't look like an albatross when they got him. Okay, he came off his 59 home run MVP season, and we gave him Starling Castro, which was 30 million off the books, and then they agreed to pay $10 million a year starting next year for the next 3 years. So it looked pretty reasonable, and he's gotten a couple 30 home runs a couple times with the Yankees. So, but like, we need him to be healthy, man. This guy looks like he bench press a bulldozer, but his legs are so fragile. It looks like he can't swat a bicycle. So they got to figure something out with his flexibility, range of motion, and do something to make him a little bit more stable from the bottom up, or from the bottom to the waist at the very least. So because he's so damn strong. So I appreciate that, Michael. And yeah, and you have every right to be frustrated. And I'm not upset at you for being frustrated. I'm frustrated too. I'm frustrated too. So only reason word life. What do you got here? Only reason why I don't play because that team is a few pieces away. I don't believe the team's. Yeah, I think this. I think this. I don't want to waste the prospects on win. Well, this is so like the reason why I have some. If you look at some of the trades that I put forth, for instance, the Torres and a prospect for Giolito is. I'm not afraid until the end of the year, but the reliever I had attached to him has 4 years of control. Whether it be Bummer or Crochet, they both have 4 years of control. I want a controllable piece too, Word Lifer, to put them in a position for the next couple years. And a lot of my trades have guys that are under controllable contracts for the next couple years. And I do think it's a good point, important. So like the win now deals, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's a win now deal right now that the Yankees can not. They could trade for Shohei Ohtani, and he's not going to put him in the World Series. So and this is what I'm talking about. Like trades have to make sense. They have to address needs for both sides. That's why if I'm going to give up a Severino, I'm giving a prospect with it. I want someone back with control. Okay, the same thing goes for Torres. I don't want to just trade them for a roster piece or for a payroll space or whatever. I want to trade Torres who has value for somebody with value. So, and one thing Boone does well is acquire relievers. And that's why I think you could probably get another reliever with controllable years. And then we have Efrost coming back and some of these other guys coming back. Now your bullpen's going to be crazy good. So, and at the very least, they wouldn't have to worry about that next year and every single year. They could focus on starting pitching. The free agent class this offseason is going to be super deep in starting pitching. So maybe they can get two controllable starting pitchers without injury histories, right? That for here for a couple of years. You pack that with a really good deep bullpen, and you're working with something here. And then you can put together some other offensive pieces over time. And then it's a little bit of a different situation. They got 70 million plus coming off the books this year. So they can be smart. And I hope that they will be. Not saying they always will, but you trade for a Soto, it's your boy. Yeah, I mean, you got a building block right there. You got a star player, and he's 24. So, like I said, this too. Like if I'm going to give either him or Otani a 10-year deal, yes, Otani's a two-way guy. He's a super elite player, no doubt. But I'm going to give it to Soto, and I would even give him an opt out after 5 years. You want to opt out at 30? Go right ahead. We just got 5 years of your play, your prime years. Otani's going to be 30 just starting his contract. So I want more prime years and then more instead of more years on the wrong side of 30. That's one reason I would go for Soto instead of Otani. So Otani has a higher offensive ceiling, no doubt about it. Can't deny that, and he's an elite pitcher too. But Soto to me is a better fit for this team. I think Otani's a better fit for the Dodgers and Mariners. So, Jonathan, as far as we know, they were not close to getting Soto. They offered Volpe, Dominguez, and Peraza. The only play that the Nationals liked was Peraza. They didn't like the other two. The Padres, I don't know what they would like. So, and that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, and O'Brien, they do look like zombies. They really do. So, well, I appreciate that, Mind Boys. And I learn a lot from this. Is why I welcome other people's perspective because I learn from people. I learn from people who agree, who disagree, and all that stuff. You all bring valuable pieces of intel and to the channel. I don't want people just blindly agreeing with me and saying I'm great. Oh yeah, true. Blah blah blah. I want people to challenge me. I want people to bring stuff to the channel. I want to elevate the thought process. I want to elevate the conversation. It makes the channel better. So, but I thank you for that, Mind Blow, and I thank you for being here. So, and again, sometimes it's a little bit people get a little feisty. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We're adults here too. That's why I like Sunil and I are not bashing each other. We're adults, grown men. You know what I mean? So and that I appreciate. Emperor Palpatine's evil. I think he might even be a Sith. Oof. See, you bring the great insight, Billy. Emperor Palpatine was evil. I think he might even be a Sith Lord in the destruction of Alderaan. There's no accident. You bring valuable insight, Billy. I mean, amen, amen, sir. And this is a good point too, Texas. Yeah, turn into a bad hitter by moving. Yeah, I mean, that's why. Like, I would have him down refining things right now in the minors, and try to come up with some kind of consistent way to get him playing up here. That he's not all over the place or he's not sitting in place. Something, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, this is the thing too, Texas, with the Yankees, and this is one thing that drives me nuts about them. Is that when they trade for guys like Sonny Gray and some other guys, they try to change them when they get here and it doesn't work. And then they go back out and they play well somewhere else. Which, like, why did you bring in a guy like Sonny Gray? He was awesome. He was an ace. Why did you bring him here and try to change him? He wasn't an ace. Did you not realize that you changing him didn't work? It backfired. Let him be himself. Like, if you're gonna trade for players, let them be themselves. That's why you like them. And like, it doesn't make any sense. But that's one thing I wish the Yankees would not do, which is crazy, dude. Sure. Yeah. I would trade Torres and a prospect for Jolito and Bummer. If you could get Crochet, you get Crochet. It'll cost a little bit more, but Crochet's 23, Bummer's 30. So I like the younger guy, but they both have 3.5. They're not free agents until 2027. That's good value. Save it for a left fielder. I mean, if you can, I know they're talking about to the Cardinals for Tyler O'Neill, but if I had to choose between Tyler O'Neill and like somebody like Randall Grichuk from the Rockies, I would choose Grichuk. I think he'd be better fit for the Yankees. And he was a Yankee killer too, so I'd rather him come here than go with somebody like the friggin' Orioles or the Blue Jays. That would suck because I think he'd become a Yankee killer again. Grichuk is 31, but he can hit. He's a good defender. He's a feisty player, and he's a pest for a lot of other teams. I don't want him to be a pest for the Yankees. It's like like a bee, just constantly stinging you. I want him doing that to other teams. So if I had to choose between Tyler O'Neill and Randall Grichuk, it would be Grichuk. And Higgy for a reliever, or even a catching prospect or something, or Higgy for a reliever. Higgy, man, if you can get a reliever for Higgy, then I would do that. No. That's what we strive for, Farina. That's what we strive for, buddy. Great discussions, and that's why I appreciate you all, folks. I mean, and again, it's. I think it's one reason. Yeah, I think it's a reason why we're kind of close to 20,000 subscribers. I think, again, every channel will attract its own audience, which is, I think, it's the right way to do it. No matter what the channel is, they're doing it. They're attracting their audience. Other channel. I think it's the right way to do it. So, but I appreciate this. So thank you for that. We try to have great discussion, whether you agree or disagree. We're adults, so and that's the way I like it. I'm going to keep doing it that way, Farina. We're going to be straightforward here. We're going to be honest. So we're going to keep it that way. So, and you're part of it, Farina. So thank you for that. This is a great question by Sunil. Dominguez seems to be projected Soto type, but to be Michael Prospect's lost time ago, yes, he did. Yes, he's having a struggle. He's struggling in Double A. Would I would insert him in a heartbeat in the Soto deal. I would have inserted him for Brian Reynolds. I think Brian Reynolds would have solved a lot of problems, Sunil. I would have given him away for Brian Reynolds because I don't buy the whole he's the next Trout, the next Mickey Mantle thing. I think that's an unfair projection. Just like it's unfair to call Volpe the next Jeter or the next whatever. Like let him be the next Volpe or the first Volpe. So I think it creates crazy expectations for people. And then a lot of these folks are the same people that'll call them a bust when it doesn't work out. But I would not hesitate to include him in a Soto deal, not even for one bit. You'd have to give up a lot. You probably give up Will Warren or Clayton Bitter. I would give up Everson Pereira. I'd give up Trey Sweeney. I would give up a good amount for a Juan Soto. And again, it's only a year and a half for Soto. It's not like you're giving up 2.5 years or 3.5 years. So, but in an instance, Sunil, would you? Is my question. Would you give him up? Well, Steven, this is a good point too. Yeah, I think you give up a haul, you have to agree to some kind of extension, and I would give him an opt out in the extension so they can come back at like his 30, which I think would make it more amenable to him to sign an extension or agree to one. Even with Boris, you can go back on the market at 30 and get another 10-year, 12-year deal. But we just got 5 years of your prime years, and I would take that in a heartbeat. Heartbeat. I think the opt out would be an appealing piece for a guy like Soto. They do, and an impact, yes. Liable contact, yes. So, yes, it does, Nelson. It's got us twitching, baby. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I appreciate that, NFE, bro. I try to offer solutions and opinions. Sometimes people get pissed off at that, and that's okay too. Like some people just want to vent, and that's totally fine. I do that too. But I try to be constructive in what I do because, again, I want to elevate the thinking. So, and again, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to. I mean, it's almost impossible, NFE, to compare this to like the '98 team was a special team, and again, the personnel on that team is completely different. And again, like if Cole was on 2019, they would have won the World Series. If he was on '98, they would have won the World Series. Like that's the type of guy who would have fit well on any of these teams. So, but like 2009, they had the core four there. They also got Teixeira, they got Burnett, they got Sabathia, Damaso Marte, they got Nick Swisher in free agency all that offseason, right? Which is completely freaking nuts. And then you have Jeter, you have Rivera, Posada. The only guy you didn't have was Byrne. You also have Pettit. Like that, we've never had that type of personnel since Boone's been here. So, and again, that's Cashman jobs to fill in with better personnel. So that one's on Cashman, not Boone. So, and like if Girardi was managing his team, do you think they would have won? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he never won a World Series after that for like another 8 years or 9 years. So the comparison just, I think it's tough. And again, yes, dwelling on the past does nothing to change what's going on now. Like CC's not here anymore. I love them, not here. Neither is Jeter. Neither is Teixeira. Neither is Scott Brocious, David Wells, Roger Clemens. Like Chili, Straw. Like none of those guys are here. It's a different game now. So, but the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's call it Peraza work vet, DFA Donaldson. Right? Yeah, I mean, theoretically that would be awesome. And if you bring up work vet, you got to trade Higashioka. It just makes sense, right? The FA Donaldson, I think a lot of people. Well, I think almost everybody wants. I do too, but I don't. I wish they would just be straight with us and say we don't want to. I wish somebody would say like we know that we're not going to get better value by keeping him here. We know, like, well, I wish somebody would just say that. Like, we know it would be better if Peraza was here right now, but we don't want to. Whatever. That's right. So like, it's crazy, but. I wish somebody would say that, but I mean, who knows if that's even what they're thinking? They say, I mean, he's elite defensively, no doubt about it. Townsend, like with an occasional error, but he's elite defensively. There's no doubt. But his defense is a lot to be desired. You can replace him with a Peraza who's elite defensively. He's the best elite defensive player in the infield in the entire organization, majors and minors. So that is really hard to compete with. So, and he's got a better bat and he's got more hustle and energy than Josh Donaldson did. So, yeah, I want Peraza up here because I do think they'll get better value with the money that they spend already. So, please, I hope they do that. And I think we need that fight and that energy up on this team, just like with guys like Chaparro and Florial. Let's give Florial. This would be the last chance for Florial. And if he doesn't show that he can catch up some major league pitching, I would just trade him and then keep it moving. So, Boone be a yes man without regard to. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what organization he's in Hawaiian, but I mean, he's definitely a yes man with a lot of things here. There's no doubt about that. So, best battery commanders. So it could really chew you out effectively without. Well, exactly. This is what we do as martial arts instructors too, right? I don't go to people and get in their face and start chewing them out. Blah blah blah. We praise publicly, we criticize privately. It's more constructive that way, right? And I mean, you get people to try to test you, yeah, but I'm not going to go beat somebody up either on the mats. Like that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. But you're absolutely right, Sean. They could chew you out in a very constructive way and get their point across without being an a-hole about it. Absolutely. And David, I'm with you too. At the end of the day, you can't count out the Yankees. It's still June, which that's the only thing I pretty much. I'm here, gang. I just lost power and I got restored quickly. So my apologies there. I just freaking lost power. No, I'm back, Lapari. I'm back. I'm back, Wink. I don't know what happened there, but I might have gotten whacked. I might have gotten whacked, dude. I'm back. So my apologies there. Well, this is the thing, and this is why. I mean, this is why I'm not upset that they're not going deep into the games with Cole every single game. Okay, because I don't want like they're already down Rodon. They're already down Nestor. They're inconsistent with the other guys. We don't want to overuse Cole and have him be hurt when we need him the most. I'm here, Sunil. I'm here. So he's a workhorse, but the last thing we want to do is injure our workhorse, right? So I'm back, Joel. I'm back. I'm back. Can you all hear me and see me? I freaking lost power. I don't know where that came from, but I did. So, Billy, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate the loyalty there. Sunny working. Barzini's gone. Stacci, Mo Green, Cuneo. Right? Right, Billy? Oh shoot. Good, good. I'm glad I'm back on. That's frustrating when it happens. Sometimes this thing goes out of whack. You lose power, or you get zapped out, and you got to come back. It's a pain in the ass, but I appreciate you sticking with me here. So I appreciate that. So I'm gonna wrap it up in a minute anyway. But this was a fantastic conversation. I really appreciate the feedback I got from everybody. And again, Sunil, I'm back, baby. I'm back. So it's all good. Again, like I don't expect people to just blindly agree with me and everything I say and not be afraid to challenge me. Okay. That's that's not how it is here. Okay. Again, there's no all knowing, there's no Godfather and all this stuff. Even though, Joel, I mean, you know, you know what I mean? There's no like Michael Corleone or Sonny from the Bronx Tale on YouTube. It just doesn't. It's not the way it is. This is a baseball channel, so but we do have a close knit family here, and I appreciate that. Flashbacks to The Sopranos. I mean, I was so fucking disappointed about the finale of The Sopranos. Oh my god, that was frustrating. But what I will say is, I'm very happy. James Gandolfini. I met him. I sat with my uncle at 30-yard line, second row, Giants Jets, the year they opened up MetLife, and he sat right in front of me. James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano. You know what I mean, Joel? that was one of the coolest experiences of my life, and he was one of the coolest people you ever meet. Huge. It was cold. It was like December. It was freezing. He was there with a big ass Carhartt jacket and a skull cap, and like I high fived him, man. It's like he high fived my arm. My hand was half the size of his. He was big, dude, but he was such a nice guy. So one of the most treasuring experiences I've ever met. So I'm very thankful to have met James Gandolfini. So, and I'm glad they didn't whack him on TV live. But I'm with you here too. They need to find a championship mindset. Look to get like guys like Randall Grichuk. I think will bring some of that peskiness and that attitude to the team that needs it. And this team does need a little bit of an attitude adjustment. I like guys like IKF. He quietly carries himself well, right? Bader brings energy. Even guys like McKinney and Bowers, like they bring a little swag here. So, and Mine Blue Eyes. I mean, I love them too. He's one of my best, one of my favorites. Oh, True Romance. Oh God. He was crazy in True Romance, but it was really good. He was also great in 8 mm. If you haven't seen that with Nicolas Cage, holy crap, go see that. Did I did not get a photo with him, Wink the Man. I wish I did. I went to the Jersey Boys when they first opened on Broadway. I went to their opening with my mom, who worked on Broadway, and the entire cast of The Sopranos were there, and Frankie Valli and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. Like it was one of the coolest things ever in the world. But I was hanging out at the bar with Meadow and a couple of the other folks. Like it was just a really cool, and they were all really cool, really really cool. See me have a great night too. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we do, man. I appreciate this community. And again, I appreciate all the other baseball channel communities too. Everybody does their thing. Keep doing your thing, gang. With this point about the Sopranos, yeah, the fact I went black, and I don't remember there being a bullet shot. I don't remember there being a shot fired. So, but the assumption of it was yes. But yeah, so 83 likes. Yeah, if anybody hit that like button on the way out, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Glad you're back. All good, Lepard. We're safe here, man. John Goodman's a big dude too. He's a nice guy as well. He's a nice guy. Realize when we could or can't change the perception of those who choose bashing, name calling because they're too frustrated with some of the insanity. When we could, it's not us. Whatever the perception is, whatever the perception is. When you start questioning other people's fan loyalty because they're not like you, which certain people do, you lose credibility. I don't respect that at all. I don't respect that at all. So, but that's just me. There are other people that do their things. But let's not say we're the only people that we're not we're the most loyal. We're the only this, only that. Come on, come on. It's not true. So, and that to me, so the bashing is again a product of a lot of things, and again, it's the sources you take in and the sources you peddle out too. And again, it is what it is. That's what I say. Everybody has their own style, and it's fine. And I stay away from it. That's why I don't put politics on this channel. I mean, we don't do that here. It's a very toxic discussion. So, no bullet shot exactly, Billy. But this is what I'm talking about, Sunil. You're going to get challenged here. I'm not going to bash you. I respect your agreements and disagreements. We talk about Benzes right now. We talk about cars. We talk about all kinds of stuff. And I appreciate that stuff. So, and it's always going to be that way. And Mind Blue Eyes, thank you again. I appreciate the kind. You made my day, Mind Blue Eyes. Really did. I thank you for that. Well, I remember that, Billy. Yeah. Hey, yo, Tony. Oh man. Now you got me talking about Sopranos now. Yeah. But anyway, peace and love to all of you. Have a great night. Thank you for the great freaking live stream. It was the best we wanted to have in a while. So I love him. Shout out to all of you. Anybody hasn't hit the like button on the way out, please do if you don't mind. And if anybody hasn't subscribed to this channel, I hope that you enjoy this stuff enough to do that. So I want you to come along for the ride. We got a lot more stuff coming. So tomorrow I'm having a discussion with Cashman, and the next day I'm having a discussion with Rob Manfred. I'm going to give you I'll be a little bit more feisty the next couple of days, so be ready for it. Dave Portnoy, peace out to you too. Peace and love to all of you. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.